What's up, everybody? It's Alan the Kraken, and today I have for you an exciting authentication video. I have done this in a messenger chat because I do not have a very good streaming setup yet. So I've kind of just doing this on my phone and kind of doing a screen recording. But I'm going to go ahead into my messenger, and hopefully I don't share anybody's name or any information that they don't want to have put out. So let's go ahead and click into Messenger, and here we go. So I'm calling this authentication method Fiesta Eggs with Hot Sauce, copyright pending. Now presenting, please keep comments until the end of the presentation, and without further ado, authentication for Flesh and Blood, a universal method. Now I want to start with a brief explanation, and I want you all to remember the MTG print dot. It's pretty famous. If you take a jeweler loop, and I think if you look at I think it's the green symbol, you'll see the 4 red dots, I believe. I think it's 3 down, 1 over. And it shows that print dot pattern that everybody uses a jeweler loop to authenticate suspicious Magic the Gathering cards, especially for employees for shops and stuff. But I discovered an interesting color pattern or a color theme, and I don't believe that this can be replicated by forgeries. So here we have the A from the and of Flesh and Blood on the back. This is a super rare from Arcane Rising Unlimited. Now, if you look, you can kind of see the yellow and the white kind of looks like eggs. Then the red looks like hot sauce, and then the green and blue dots kind of look like chives or mushrooms or whatever. And you're going to see that color and pattern throughout. Now, I took 3 pictures of the same card because I wanted to make sure that I captured any different lighting scenarios or any different angles that was happening at that macro scale. Next we have going into Arcane First Edition. Now this is going to be a different dot pattern, but however, I want you to look at the colors. So the colors still look like eggs. You still have that hot sauce dots, and then you have those blue and green chives or mushrooms. Next, we have Crucible of War First Edition. Take a look at this. Again, it's going to be a different dot pattern, but you're still going to see that white with the yellow yolk, with the red hot sauce dots, and the blue mushrooms and the green chives. So I named it this because these colors just reminded me of Fiesta eggs with hot sauce. That was my only reason why I named it this. So let's go ahead and look at some proxies that I have acquired. These were given to me by a friend, and these are not in circulation. These are not being sold, so don't be alarmed. Just know that these exist, all right? So these are the proxies. Now, some of these look more real than others. Like Shiana there, she's ghost white. The color saturation was just terrible. But if you put that Heart of Fandel or that Eye of Ophidia in a sleeve or a double sleeve and you try to play with it, I as an opponent especially on online play, I wouldn't even notice. I really wouldn't. So now some of those look more real than others, but this is the dot pattern from those proxies that I was able to acquire. This is the only known proxies that I have come across, and as you can see, it just looks chunky, gross, and I would not eat these eggs. That is a fake dot print pattern when looking at the A on the back of the and on the Flesh and Blood on the back of a card. So I was talking with Louie from Kitchen Table TCG and kind of collabing with him, and he pointed out the trademark symbol. I think I vaguely remember seeing this like way back in the day, like maybe October of Crucible of War. Um, and I probably heard about this maybe once or twice, but Louie definitely reminded me of this. Um, because I had forgotten about the TM. I looked all over this card and I didn't see it because this is a busy back of a card. It has a lot going on, so it's easy to get lost in it. But as you can see, there's a TM, and if you look at that TM, it is very small, but you can see it with the naked eye. Now, if we do look closer at the TM, right? Enhance. You can see that same color scheme. You can see the yellow, you can see the white, you can see the green chives, you can see the hot sauce, and you can see a little bit of blue and a little bit of mushroom there. So yeah, this is my Fiesta eggs with hot sauce authentication method. I believe that the trademark that Louie from Kitchen Table TCG pointed out, combined with the Fiesta eggs with hot sauce color theme, is going to be the strongest authentication that we have right now. And I think this will be strong going in for years to come. I don't see counterfeiters getting down to this macro level. I believe that a lot of you will need to protect yourselves with a jeweler's loupe and a microscope going forward. I do want to touch on the MTG again. So, a lot of you know, and if you don't, I'll go ahead and tell you. On Wish.com, there is an infamous seller that went by the name of Black Lotus. And he would sell proxies of Magic the Gathering, and that caused a panic for a good couple years. I even think he's still going. So there's thousands of these MTG fakes that are going out that he does. And he is one of the most prolific and known counterfeiters in the world, but he sells them as proxies, so he's kind of legalized his business somewhat, maybe even for the country he's in. I'm not sure how that works for the legalities of where he lives, because I don't know where he lives. He could be in a country where they don't have these laws, but from my understanding, if you call it a proxy on eBay, I think they stopped doing this, so just completely forget the rest of what I'm telling you. But this is what I'm going to tell you. I think that he was selling them as proxies, so eBay for a long time let it slide, and this was years. I think finally they started cracking down on proxies, and they didn't let it go. I think that happened maybe a couple years ago or a year ago. But I do think he is out there, and I do think he's still counterfeiting Magic the Gathering cards. Do I think that he can do this to Flesh and Blood? Yes. Do I think that he can replicate this authentication? No. This is very specific printing and very specific patterns and very specific color schemes that will be almost impossible to pull off without the same equipment, without the same ink. So yeah, this is my authentication video. I do have more information that I'm going to go over in the coming weeks, but this is just something I wanted to share now with the community. And Louie did give me permission to go ahead and share this with the rest of the community, so I do appreciate him for that. And I hope that everybody does a video on this. I hope that this hits every forum. I hope that this goes out into Discord, just everywhere, because everybody needs to know and protect themselves. And ultimately, I believe that this is the perfect timing for authentication methods to start emerging, because I believe it's going to bring a lot of investor confidence into Flesh and Blood. And that's just gonna grow the game even more. So I appreciate y'all listening to me ramble about some cards, and you guys have a wonderful day, and remember to have fun. Thank you.